I call to order this regular Monument Town Council meeting, Monday, September 18th, 2023. Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Erickson, will you take roll, please?
Mayor LaKind,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem King,
Here.
Councilmember Romanella,
Here.
Councilmember Abbott, here, Councilmember Kimple,
Here.
Councilmember Chronic,
Here.
Councilmember Fiorito.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, next up, disclosures of conflicts of interest. Is there anybody here who has any personal conflicts of interest they need to disclose? Okay, and seeing none, I also will let everybody know that Mr. Cole picked a good day to be under the weather because the agenda is light. And so I said it. With that, we have before us an agenda and a consent agenda. Is there any modifications to the agenda?
I have 1 in 26 parts. I'm just kidding. Since you said it's light.
If not, then I will look for a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion is second. Ms. Erickson.
Mayor Pro Tem King,
Yes.
Councilmember Kimple,
Yes.
Mayor LaKind,
Yes.
Councilmember Fiorito,
Yes.
Councilmember Abbott,
Yes.
Councilmember Chronic,
Yes.
Councilmember Romanella.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, that motion passes 7-0. Next up, we have a proclamation. Do we have Ms. Mooney here?
Greetings, Council and members of the public. My name is Hannah Mooney. I am the Watershed Outreach Coordinator for the Fountain Creek Watershed Flood Control and Greenway District. I am very excited to be coming in front of you today to share about our 10th annual Creek Week cleanup. Ali Shook created this program as a way to connect our citizens to our home watershed and to do a bit of good for water, our most precious resource, by removing litter. The first year, we had just over 600 volunteers come out and remove 6.8 tons of trash. This is a pretty good accomplishment for a first-time event. Due to the strong partnerships we've been forming with our local governments, businesses, schools, churches, and service groups, we have grown Creek Week to be the largest cleanup in the state, and we have now inspired over 20,000 citizens in removing over 140 tons of trash. That is the weight of the Statue of Liberty and the largest animal in the world, a blue whale. We are beautifying the natural environment that we all enjoy. We are protecting water quality and preventing storm drains from clogging or wildlife from being injured. This year, we aim to make the biggest impact yet. We have a goal of engaging 4,000 citizens in 10 watershed communities from Palmer Lake to Pueblo and beyond. In addition to cleanups, we have land management activities planned where citizens can help remove non-native plants, work on trails, and restore riparian habitats. We have our first ever impactful IPA coming soon. It's actually out in 17 breweries that are a part of Colorado's only Brewshed Alliance. And we will once again be building a giant word for our Litter Letter project in partnership with the Pikes Peak Outdoor Recreation Alliance. This year's word is impactful. Creek Week kicks off on Saturday, September 30th and runs for 9 days. As we like to say, 9 days, no excuses. We invite all of you to join us at any of the 60+ events that we have scheduled so far. So do your part for a healthy watershed while having some fun. We have, can we have a commercial to play today? That's okay, if not, okay. So at last year's event, your community monument have had 30 people pick up about 33 bags of trash. So we'd like to challenge you to beat those numbers to encourage everyone to come out for the 10th annual Creek Week cleanup. Thank you for your time. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Does anybody have any questions for Ms. Mooney?
Just impressive that the amount of trash and sad. And how many trash would be.
Yeah. It looks like there are a couple of sites, time slots where we'll be local, and Dirty Woman Creek Park and Downtown Monument on October 7th. And I think there's another one sooner, which I can't be at because I'll be building a park,
Wow.
jungle gym equipment and whatnot.
That's the same day.
Yeah, it's the same day. If there's no other questions, we thank you. And if Council Member Kimple would be so good as to read the town's proclamation for Creek Week, please. He has a DJ's voice.
No, I have a face for radio. I don't have a voice for radio. Okay. First, thank you very much for the presentation. Outstanding job. Proclamation recognizing Creek Week 2023. Whereas the town of Monument is fortunate to have extensive and diverse natural resources, and whereas the Fountain Creek watershed is a unique and important asset to the residents of and visitors to the town, the Pikes Peak region, and whereas the Fountain Creek Watershed District is a proud partner and collaborator with its members, with its member governments, and whereas the Fountain Creek Watershed District is celebrating the 10th annual Creek Week cleanup, which offers volunteers the opportunity to protect, steward, and maintain the Fountain Creek watershed. And whereas Creek Week is a litter cleanup, education, and restoration effort throughout the watershed set for September 30th through October 8th, 2023. The largest cleanup event in the state of Colorado, and whereas nearly 20,000 volunteers have removed over 135 tons of trash during Creek Week over the past 9 years during this impactful program, and whereas Creek Week litter removal and restoration activities will continue to reduce pollution in our creeks and our connecting waterways, manage flooding, provide for a safer drinking water supply, and enhance wildlife habitat and property values. Now, therefore, the Town Council of the Town of Monument hereby proclaim September 30th to October 8th, 2023 as 10th Annual Creek Week in Monument, and invite our citizens to help protect, restore, and maintain our waterways by participating in Creek Week activities. Proclaim this 18th day of September, 2023.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is something fun.
This is where they bring the ice cream too, right?
I don't see any ice cream or alcohol in
Is that considered voting under duress then?
That's
Okay.
Ms.
They've
Erickson,
got
this is
tequila Sundays.
this is your Tequila Sundays, right?
Right.
This is your show.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Tonight before you is an application for a new lodging and entertainment liquor license for Lolly's LLC, doing business as Lolly's Ice Cream, located at 174 Washington Street, Unit B. The application was filed on August 18th, 2023. The notice of public hearing was published in the Tri-Lakes Tribune on September 6th, 2023, and posted on the premise on September 7th, 2023. There has not been within 2 years preceding the date of application a denial of an application by either the state of Colorado or liquor licensing authority for the town of Monument for the same class license as the same location or within 500 feet of the same location. Because the reasonable requirements of the neighborhood and the desires of the inhabitants were satisfied by the existing outlets. From the evidence submitted, the applicant is entitled to possession of the premises where the applicant proposes to use the license being applied for. The selling of alcohol beverages for consumption on the premise in the manner proposed in the application is not in violation of the Town of Monument Municipal Code or other applicable laws, rules, or regulations of the Town of Monument, El Paso County, or State of Colorado. The building where the applicant proposes to exercise the privilege of alcoholic beverages for consumption on the premises is not within 500 feet from a public or private school or the principal campus of any college, university, or seminary. All owners and managing members with ownership of 10% or more in the applicant and the registered manager have submitted individual history records and fingerprints for the purpose of background checks as required. An inspection of the premise will be conducted prior to the issuance of a license to confirm the diagram submitted is accurate. I would like to introduce the owners, Dustin and Shelley Sapp, and Aaron Clark, the manager. They are here to answer any questions or comments you may have.
Okay, if there's going to be any questions, I'd ask at least the manager be able to come to the podium. Anybody have questions for our applicant?
Just a gee whiz, is this going to be a second location or moving to a,
So yeah, we have our main storefront is still going to be on Second Street. This
Okay.
is just going to be, we've opened a private event space. So this is just like a by reservation only event space. And we also have our ice cream production in the same building.
okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
This was the old cider house
Mhm.
place
Okay,
that
okay.
they've remodeled.
Yeah.
Pictures look amazing. Congratulations. Waiting for the ribbon cutting, Terry.
What,
We haven't scheduled it yet, but yes, I will.
And there'll be adult shakes, right?
Yes.
That's the goal.
what hours of operation are you projecting?
So it's by reservation only in the event space. So it's really just whenever people want to book it. So it would be, typically evenings and weekends, for like, parties would range from like an hour and a half to maybe 3 hours at a time.
So the alcohol would be purchased, I'm assuming, at wholesale. This is not, you're not setting a bar up. You're not going to be distilling, you don't have taps.
Correct.
This will be just pour,
Yeah, purchased wholesale and then, yeah, just yeah.
sold.
exactly.
So we can't just pop in.
No.
But you can book a
Yeah.
Book a
You
party.
can book a party.
Well, there's the answer to that question.
Or a fundraiser.
So is there projected parking?
We do have just street parking out front and then we have limited parking behind our facility in an alleyway, but then we're like only maybe like a couple driveways over from the big town parking lot that's off of Washington, kind of like behind the shared lot, yeah.
And how many people do you anticipate or can accommodate in this area?
What was that?
How many people can be accommodated? Has the
Like how many
fi-
guests at a time?
fire code? Yeah.
I think was it up to 75? Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other questions from the council? Okay, so then I would look for, oh, it's a public hearing item. That's right. Thank you. At this point, since it is a public hearing item, I will invite the public to speak for or against the granting of this liquor license. Do we have anybody in the public that would like to speak? Ms. Hayes.
Carrie Hayes, Tri-Lakes Chamber of Commerce. Lolly's has been a member of ours from the beginning, and being across the street from their original facility that we saw that house be empty for like 2.5 years. I just want to say this family has put in a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and money into this downtown area, and they really came here because they loved Town of Monument. They want to make it successful, and they wanted to be a great addition to our downtown. And I think this is just going to be another event place in addition to what they currently have. And so I'm super excited, and I think it's going to be a wonderful addition to downtown, and I hope you grant their liquor license.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody online, Will, that is, do we only have 3 people online?
My agenda. That's correct, sir.
Okay, is there anybody online that would like to speak for or against? If not, anybody else in the room that would like to speak? Okay, we'll close the public hearing and bring it back to the council for any further comment or motion.
I'll make a motion to approve this liquor license.
I second.
We have a motion, and a second. Ms. Erickson?
Mayor Pro Tem King,
Yes.
Councilmember Kimple,
Yes.
Mayor LaKind,
Yes?
Councilmember Fiorito,
Yes.
Councilmember Abbott,
Yes.
Councilmember Romanello,
Yes.
Councilmember Chronic.
Yes.
Thank you.
Congratulations, your liquor license has been approved. 7-0.
Next time, bring ice cream.
Okay, next up is public comments for items not on the agenda. Individuals attending in person may raise their hand to indicate their desire to comment. Individuals attending via Teams may raise their hand digitally to comment via connected devices. Please lower your hand when finished with your comments. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Ms. Sweargen, come on down.
I've been online, but I have not been here, but I've missed everybody. So anyway, Nancy Swearingen, 418 Trailhead Road, Monument 80132. If I've missed this during the meeting, I apologize, but I am curious to know where we are in regards to the 3 wells that were drilled. If they're up, running, have they been approved? What's going on with those? The one that's sitting in front of my house, I don't see the little house being built or anything yet. And I was just curious as to where we are with that. Also curious if we've had any update on regards to where we are in regards to the loop project or the northern loop with that. And that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to speak? I will assume based on who I see online that they don't have any comments, but if they do, feel free to raise your hand. Okay. To address, normally we wouldn't do this, obviously, Ms. Sweargen, but as far as the NDS and the loop project, we have an upcoming meeting where we will have full presentation time again to allow all the new council members to rehear or hear for the first time the complete package from each set of representatives. So we would have, it'll be a public meeting. They'll talk about the financials, they'll talk about where they are in their individual projects. And after that point, we will get to a decision as to what direction the council feels the town should go. September 30th, there you go. No, it can't, is it? No, no. No, we changed it. We changed it so it would not be on a Saturday. Because of the meeting being, I did not bring any technology. So I will reach out to you personally and tell you what date that is. Nope, just Miss Sweargen.
So
You have to be here, anyway, so surprise.
Yeah, I think so. So regarding the wells though, because we're there and since
Right.
we have Mr. Thornish in the back here, he can fill us in. Well, you
I was,
look like
I
you're
was,
going somewhere
no, I
else.
was gonna get there.
Yes, I'm taking your job.
Okay, good evening, council and members of the public. The new wells that we drilled, which are now being called wells 11, 12, and 13. Right now, we've done a meeting with a neighborhood around the well 11 site to let them decide what the outside of that building is going to look like. We're going to have another meeting with the people that within 500 feet of well 12, probably within the next few weeks. And well 13 will follow, and that's the one closest to your house, Nancy. That will follow within a week or two after that. Right now, all of the wells are in the design phase with the state. The state has to approve the design as far as what's inside of that building. Once that's completed, then we'll be going to bid for the construction of all 3 wells, and we're going to try to time it so we can have all 3 well houses go to bid at the same time. I just have one contractor do If it, in the end, if it ends up being 3 different designs, that's fine. We're just talking about what the outside looks like. On the inside, we'll have standard water treatment and chlorination. And if we need any additional treatment beyond that, then the engineers will tell us on that. That's kind of the latest update we have. We're hoping to get some answers pretty quick because we'd really like to get these wells in operation fairly quick. The pumps and motors that pump the water out of the ground have been ordered for several weeks now. So there's a little bit of lead time on that. But we're still hoping to get all 3 of these wells operational as soon as possible.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that. All right, we're going to close public comment. We have no council authorization items that I know of, unless somebody here has something that they would like to have authorized. Ken, didn't you, Mr. Kimball, did you have something you wanted to get on the agenda in the future?
Yes, talking about, there's been a couple different traffic studies done and just talking about traffic safety methods and ways to help reduce or curb speeding. What avenues do we have, so to speak? And just the increased volume. We have to look at additional signage and new signs so that they're all similar. Like if you go on Leather Traps towards Bear Creek Elementary, you'll see flashing stop sign. In other locations, and it's solar powered. Whereas other locations, you don't have that, but that's a new method or a new means of getting someone's attention.
So for the purpose of getting on the agenda, we're going to have a couple of entities that are going to need to do some studying. Obviously, Monument Police is going to have to coordinate efforts depending on what part of town they're in. Being that we don't own the roads in Jackson Creek, we're probably going to have to converse with their director. So do you know how long it would take for you to do or put together a study for signage, speeds, traffic enforcement efforts above and beyond what we're already doing?
I'm sorry, just off the top, no, I don't know how long that would take. Would it be possible to come back at the next meeting with kind of an estimate on that?
Most definitely.
I'm gonna have to work with Tom in Public Works. And there are several entities, but that is definitely something we can get started on.
Okay, so why don't we get,
Just a clarification. For clarification, when you say that the town of Monument doesn't own the roads,
we own the roads, but the maintenance of those roads and the signage, the traffic light, that's in Jackson Creek does not, it belongs to Triview, does not belong to the town.
But new signage has to be approved. by the-
Right, that's why I
Okay.
would like to have coordinated effort between the entities.
Yeah.
Not saying that we
Yeah,
wouldn't,
yeah.
we're not doing anything, just want to make sure we include them.
And county too, I would imagine.
I mean.
Yeah.
Depends on the area. I would not talk to them about 105 right now.
Why not?
Uh,
Not on the agenda.
It's not on the agenda.
Okay.
So anyway, if you can come back with whatever you can come up with and then we can obviously schedule this for further out. I'm certain a study is going to take some time. We'll have to fund it, et cetera, et cetera. Any other council authorization items? Okay, any council comments?
yes.
Okay,
2 comments. Number 1, I'd like to know if Palmer Ridge won or not. Just curious. I see someone, sinking in the chair, so. That's TMI. I didn't ask for that. Okay, so. Should probably have taken a lollies for ice cream just for that, so.
Yeah.
Uh, Yeah. So, discussing the budget stuff. Um, we've been going through this every, like, once or twice a month, with the workshops. And I know that the town is almost completely built out. So I'm wondering, and I know that this workshop thing was from the previous board. But I'm just wondering that to become a little bit more efficient, do we wrap this budget discussion or budget matters monthly into the normal agenda packet instead of having to start early, stop, and then go into the regular session? I think that we can do that, and I think that we can become more efficient that way. Because I know it's taken a lot of time to organize and work both the workshops and then also the actual regular meeting agenda sessions. But I think I'm just throwing it out there for the council members and their input, their thoughts. I know the budget is a big deal. I think that we should be getting briefed on it at least once a month, or just highlights once a month of any changes or alterations done to the current or existing because of the wells or backlog or whatever. But I think we're at a point where we can kind of have it integrated into the regular agenda packages at this point in time, instead of doing a workshop and then the regular meeting.
I think it's worth exploring. If Mike and staff can see if that's possible, I think that's worth.
I'll definitely take that back to Mike. And if he has any follow-up questions alongside with Mona, one thing to consider, we would just have to tie it in with the specific dates of the budget calendar per state law. But I'll make sure Mike's aware of that recommendation and we'll work to see what we can do.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.